This is our summer math, week 5. Evaluate each expression. Here we have -1 plus -7. When we're adding and the signs are same, we simply add the numbers together and keep the sign the same. This makes sense. 1 negative and 7 negatives would be 8 negatives. When we're adding and the signs are different, simply subtract the numbers, the absolute value of the numbers, and the one that has the greater absolute value will keep the sign. In this case, -4 plus 7 will be a +3. I am thinking 7 minus 4 is 3, and since there are more positives than negatives, the result is positive. Think of a negative number as owing money. If you owe somebody $4, but then you gain $7, wouldn't you really have 3? You would have to pay off your $4 loan and have 3 remaining. This is our standard subtraction of 6 minus 4. Hopefully you realize that's 2. Here's the way we define subtraction. When we say a minus b, that's equal to a plus a negative b. We keep the first number the same. We change our subtraction to an addition, and we change the sign of the number after the subtraction. In this case, 6 minus 4 is equivalent to 6 plus a -4. And when our signs are different, we subtract the numbers, and the larger, whichever ones there are more of, gets the sign. 6 positives and 4 negatives is 2 positives. Number 7 here, -2 minus -5 is the same as -2 plus 5. And -2 plus 5 will be a +3. 5 positives and 2 negatives would be 3 positives. All right, find each product. The product is the answer of a multiplication problem. We call the numbers being multiplied factors. They're both factors, and the result is the product. -5 times -2 is a +10. The product is the answer. When you're multiplying integers and the sign is the same, the result is positive. If the signs are different, the result is negative. In the case of number 19, -8 times a +8 will be a -64. When the signs are different, the product is negative. Solve each equation. We want to find the value of the variable that makes the statement true. We have 126 equals 7 times p. The 7, the coefficient, is connected to p, the variable. Connected means multiply. We want to undo this multiplication. We undo with the inverse operation, that is division. Solving an equation is a process of undoing operations. So 7 divides with 7 to leave p. 126 divided by 7 is 18. We can take this value that p is 18 and substitute it back in. We want to substitute 18 in for p. So this will look like this. 126 equals 7. Instead of p, we're going to substitute what we think p to be. Now we check to see if this statement's true. 7 times 18 is 126. And 126 is equal to 126. This is a true statement. Thus, p equal 18 is a solution. All right, number 27. Here we have x divided by 17. How we will undo division? We will multiply. The inverse of multiplication is division. Multiplying by 17 on the left and on the right. 17 cancels with our 17 to leave x. 8 times 17 is 136. And a positive times a negative will be a negative. We could take that 136 and substitute it back in. Number 33, r divided by 2 plus 5 equals -4. Remember, we're simply going to undo operations. We want to get down to this r. I will begin by undoing plus 5. I will undo that by subtracting 5. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. Plus 5 and minus 5 sum to 0, leaving r over 2. Negative 4 and negative 5 will be a negative 9. I want to get down to my r. It's r divided by 2. The inverse of division is multiplication. Multiplying by 2 on the left and the right. 2 divides with 2 to leave 1r. Negative 9 times 2 is a negative 18. We could take this negative 18 and substitute it back into our original statement in place of r. Instead of r over 2, we have negative 18 over 2 plus 5 equals negative 4. The difference between our original statement and this green statement here is we've simply substituted r to be negative 18. Well, negative 18 divided by negative 2 is a negative 9 plus 5. Is that negative 4? That's our question. Is this a true statement? Negative 9 plus 5, it is negative 4. This statement is true. So that tells us r equal negative 18 is a solution. Last problem, number 51. Negative 6x minus 7 equals 11. I want to get down to my x. I want to isolate the variable. I'll begin by dealing with minus 7. The inverse of minus is a plus 7. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Minus 7 plus 7, sum to 0, we're leaving negative 6x. On the left, 11 plus 7 is an 18. We have a negative 6 times x. I know because they're connected. Connected means multiply. Undo that multiplication with division. Dividing by my coefficient. Negative 6 divides negative 6 to leave x. 18 divides negative 6, that's a negative 3. Substituting negative 3, that value in place of the variable x. This yields negative 6 times negative 3 minus 7. Is that 11? That's my question. Is this a true statement? Negative 6 times negative 3 is a positive 18. And hopefully you can see that 18 minus 7 is 11. This statement's true. So we know x equal negative 3 is a solution. It is a value of the variable that makes the statement true. That concludes this video.